Lunch Money Lambert, Jeff Malott. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Yeah. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation, where we talk about fishing and competition. It's your boy Ox Pippin, aka Ox Fishing. Don't come over here tripping. Hey, hope you enjoy the show. Jeff Malott, Lunch Money Lambert, Lego. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to KBN Live. I almost looped it again, Ryan. Dadgummit.
I love it. I love it. Never change, Jeff. Never change.
Yeah. Happy Monday to everybody, man. We're glad y'all are here. It's going to be a great show. A lot of went down over the weekend. I know, Ryan, you had a big weekend chasing the volleyball circuit around, right?
Buddy, we did. We had a good time. It was the regionals for the travel team. They played elite. I mean, just lights out and got all the way to the championship. Great first set, and then they dropped the next two and finished second. So Kenzo got to see what that last minute heartbreak's all about that I'm all too familiar with. So welcome to the family, kid.
Yeah, that's it. That's sports, man. Builds character and pisses you off all at the same time.
Oh yeah, we've got two more left, and then I actually get to fish this year for the second half of the year. So that's gonna be fantastic. Yeah,
awesome. So there was a lot of fishing that went down over the weekend, man. We're focusing tonight on the All American Kayak Series, the All American Kayak Championship. It's been growing each year. It was huge once again this year. They had, I think, 189 anglers, 7 states, a bunch of different clubs up there. We've got the champ, James Haeberle, on tonight, and then the team champs, Chad Davison and Micah Funderburg, joining us from Moyak, who won the team championship in the second half. So,
and it's kind of like more what the original TOC format was, correct? Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. And I'm hoping I'll see it keep growing, because any club can partner with them. So you can send your club from California, Colorado, Tennessee, wherever you're at. If you get a hold of Josh Booth and say, hey, we want to send our best 10, you can do it. So a lot of opportunity there. Yeah. So Kyle Long, he's here to see his boy. Look at him.
Benjamin Burt, I have not got he has informed me I'm going to enter the Maine Moose Lottery. I'm going to try to get me a moose tag and go up there and do a little listener hunt.
Can Ryan Lilly help you tilt the scales? Is he got any pole up there?
I don't know, man. I'm hoping he can, distract them with a Fire Tiger boat, and maybe they'll accidentally draw my name out.
There we go. Kyle, I don't know if you heard me, but I pronounced his name properly thanks to your help in your text a few days ago. I cleared it with James before we went live, so we're good to go. Yeah.
Really stepping it up.
Tonight's show, like I said, we're focused on the AAKC big event. I hope it keeps growing. I need to get my lazy arse back in our local series so I can try to qualify for it, because I was not qualified for it this year. A lot of other events went down over the weekend too, though, man. Texarkana, we had VOS, Christine went ahead and notched that win down there, man. It looked like a tough day for some people.
Is
but
she
got
a Texan now? Is she officially a Texan?
She's she's got a little bit of Texas, Nebraska, Tennessee. What did we call her before? Like a hybrid Yankee or something? What did we call her?
I think that was it.
Yeah. So Christine got that win, and then the new series, the River Series, kicked off down there, and Tim Perkins back on the scene. Him and Lance Coley won the team win, and then Lance Coley took the team or the individual win down there.
And they had the Sholey Palooza down in Georgia as well. Steve-O and Dylan fished it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I called it the river thing, but that's what I was talking about.
Who won that?
It was Lance Coley won it, and then Tim Perkins and Lance won the team side.
I thought it was somebody else that won it. Maybe
Did I say the wrong name? Am I saying the wrong name?
I don't know.
Hell, I'll look
Kyle,
it up. If I'm wrong,
wait, thank you for giving me some credit, Kyle. I've been diligent, trying to drop some pounds so I don't tear this Achilles in the parents versus kids volleyball game this year. So I've only got one Achilles left.
You on the keto-based fitness? What are you doing?
No, dog. I watched the results and saw that didn't work, so I took a different approach.
Okay, all right. Respect for that. I would bet in the coming weeks we're gonna have some openings where there's a non-tournament weekend. I'd like to try to get the Wright Patman top finishers, Christine, Luke, Jason Ray, some of them on here, and then even some folks from the Shoalipalooza event on here when we have some down. But we can't get them all on the same night. All American was the biggest event of the week, so I think they deserve the spotlight tonight.
But shout out to Uncle Joe McElroy, who got big bass down there with a pseudo 12-pounder.
Pseudo 12-pounder. Yeah, I saw his little video of the slow-mo raise up out of the water.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. No video of anybody almost falling out of their boat or drowning. So just a big fish this time.
No, it looked tough. It looked tough. I can't wait to interview those guys and find out exactly what took place. But it looked like it was a tough tournament. Yeah,
I don't know if you saw Kyle's comment, but that was.
I did. My neck is less fat. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that.
You shave your beard too, somewhat. Trim it down. Maybe look.
I shaved my actual neck. I took a couple layers off the derm there. So, thanks.
There we go. All right. So if you're jumping on, whether you're on Facebook, Twitch, I see at least 4 different platforms. We've got people on there watching. We appreciate y'all. If you can, hit the share. Or just like and comment if you don't have the share option like on YouTube. Repost on X/Twitter. We're doing a Z-Man giveaway tonight. It's Z-Man night. So to get in on that, all you got to do is what I just said: like, share, comment, all those things, and we'll get you in the drawing later. We'll come up with a cool.
I'm sure we'll come up with a great hashtag throughout the show.
Yeah, we'll come up with something. We need y'all's help on that. So throw something in the comments there. We'll shout out the sponsors and get James in here. I know he's tired of listening to us talk. We want to hear about how he caught him on what looked to be a pretty tough Truman Lake. So we'll see what he says. So Eco Fishing Shop, man, they were on deck up there. I mean, that took place at Truman, close by to where Eco is. So if you're in that area, make sure you go check out Eco Fishing Shop over in Camden on Lake of the Ozarks or close to Lake of the Ozarks. But more than anything, if you need something, ecofishingshop.com, you can get it straight to the house.
Yep, anywhere.
It's the Amazon of fishing, Amazon of kayak fishing, right? And get it straight to your house. Easy money. Western Son Vodka, the drink of choice for all of KB Nation. It's still getting out to all the corners of the country, but I think it may have made it there. I see posts from folks in our group and everywhere else.
I mean, every not that I've been in many liquor stores, but the ones that I've been in, they do have it on the shelves.
They got it. Yeah, it's all over up here. And then Pro God Lithium, man. Pro God Lithium, we always say it, but you can go out there and do whatever you want, buy you a cheap Alibaba battery. Don't do it. Buy something quality, get you a Pro Guide, and it'll last you for years and hold up to the beating we put on them out there in these tough conditions in the kayaks.
And the company has been around longer than their warranty, so keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, we already mentioned Z-Man. We're doing the giveaway tonight. Revo and Seaguar, they'll be coming up in the coming weeks. And then Gill Fishing. It's the rainy season. Hey, prayers up for Oklahoma tonight, man. I hope they are safe.
I just saw that. There's some tornadoes blowing through hardcore right now.
Yeah, it is high risk in the center. It's actually, there's some edge of it heading over our way, so I'm hoping we're okay over here. But stay strong over there, Oklahomans. Love y'all. So hang in there. With that said, man, let's get James in here and talk a little.
Let's do it.
Truman Lake. And you're gonna love his setup. You saw it already. Look at that.
I did.
James,
like
Haeberle. I got you, man.
I tried to do it right,
Yeah, All American champ. Look at this, Ryan. They let him keep the banner, the biggest trophy in kayak fishing, and then he's got a T-shirt. I mean, they left him.
Oh yeah,
that looks like a Stanley Cup or something.
Yeah, you should try fitting in the shot. It's hard to get the shot with a trophy that big.
Does the lid come off of it? Can you drink out of it?
Well, I don't know. I might try that later.
Well, I'm not one to give pointers, but give it a shot.
Yeah, I might need to.
Yeah, the All American guys run a great event, and I will say they have no shame in the trophy game up there. They bring the big hardware. Since the first one, they've been doing that, and they've kept that up. It's cool.
Yeah,
I like
it.
They
do a real good job.
Yeah, man. So James,
company man now.
Yeah, you're local to the Northwest Arkansas, the NSK Club. I see Kyle Long, our president, there in the comments. I know the whole group was cheering for you. It was cool to see you pull off the win up there. Tell us a little bit about, before we get into the details of the event, what it means to pull off that victory up there, man.
Oh man, I've been thinking about this question for 2 days now, and I'm really speechless. I had no plans in being in this position whenever I, signed up to fish that. I was just wanting to make a top 25 or so to help the team, and that was really my only goal in the tournament. So, and to pull off a win like this is something special. Really means a lot.
Yeah, that's amazing.
How does Truman Lake set up? Is it like a rocky highland reservoir type, or what's the lake like itself?
Well, it's got a lot of rock bluffs, big chunk rock stuff, but there's a few back areas that kind of got grass and sloping banks and stuff. It's got just about everything, but the main thing is all the standing timber that's in the lake, because it is just jam packed. There's some cuts back in there you can't even get in with a kayak. It's just too congested. It's really, really thick stuff. But if you can maneuver around and get back into where the fish are, you can get them.
First time I went up there, I thought, my God, this looks just like Lake Fork when it's low.
Yeah, that kind of is what it looks like.
Had you fished Truman a lot? Did you have some experience on it?
Well, I was just talking about this a while ago that I've actually fished Truman Lake 8 days total.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, perfect. 4 days last year and 4 days this year. So
you did get some practice time in on it before.
Yeah, a couple days. Started. Yeah, first day of practice, I kind of just hit a ramp on the way up there and checked it out on the south side of the lake and realized real quick that wasn't my spot. So I focused elsewhere. But,
so tell us what you found, man. You got to practice a little bit. Tell us what you found and how you were feeling going into tournament, first day of the tournament.
Well, I actually pre-fished pretty hard on Friday, or it'd be Thursday, and found a little bit of something in a spot that I fished last year. Caught a bunch of 10, 12-inch buck bass that looked like their tails have been working a little bit, But I was shaking majority of the fish off because I've been talking to everybody about how tough the bite was. So I was just making sure not to sore lip any good ones, But I made a cast up behind some bushes and stuff, flooded bushes and a bunch of debris and stuff that was in there, and had one come up and get it. I tried shaking her off, tried to do everything possible to keep from catching that fish, but she just would not let go of it. So I actually put her in the boat, and there was people practicing all around me. So I was, trying to be sneaky about it, but she was pushing 21 inches, she was well over 20. I didn't, advertise it a whole lot, but I did get a picture of it. I think it's the one you had on the deal there. But after I had done that, then I realized real quick that I could get to certain spots in my area and get to the bank, and every time I got there, I could get a bite. So it was pretty simple to figure that part out. Now, the quality of fish, I didn't know what I was dealing with, but from the way everybody was talking, I was just worried about getting a limit, But
well, clearly that changed going into day one of the tournament. Did you just bet it all on that spot? Did you do any ramp hopping? How'd that shake out?
No, I just put all my dice and put all my tournament winning and everything, all of my luck, all that stuff went in one spot and hope for the best. There was 2 or 3 little cuts around there that I could duplicate that, bite with, and I just went with it.
Yeah, and you know what? Looking at day one, here, I'll pull up day one on the screen. You had a good day one, 80 inches, but you're sitting in 9th place, 9 inches out of first, and we'll get to day 2 here in a minute, but you end up winning the event by what, 14 inches?
Yeah, it's pretty unreal.
I mean, what a swing. I don't know that I've ever seen a swing like that from day 1 to day 2. Have you, Ryan?
I mean, maybe one of those you follow tournaments where people just, just fell flat on their face. What changed? Why was the bite so much tougher on day 2, do you think?
Well, I have no idea, because my day
for
2,
everybody else. Let me ask
my
that
day
for
2
everybody else.
money,
Clearly, you're. Did they chase all the fish to you?
Yeah,
that's wild.
What happened was we hit it just right in the little areas that I was fishing, where the bucks was up there making the bed and the females was coming to them. And on Friday, I caught 2 of the right fish, 2 of the bigger females. I think I had 2 of them that was 18 1/4. And then I filled my limit with some smaller fish. and I just couldn't get another big bite. So I went right back to that same spot, that same area where I caught them two, nicer fish and started my day 2. But really, those were the only 2 good ones I had on the first day.
How were you catching these fish? What was your approach on day 1?
Well, I was actually just bulldozing through all the floating debris and trees. I mean, literally, I moved trees that was 12 inches around with my kayak, just pushing them out of the way so I could get to the bank. And then once I got to a spot where I could make a cast behind the flooded brush and all that and get to the actual bank I was fishing with the fluke, weightless fluke, and get them over them because I think they were coming up and just sitting on beds. I couldn't see the beds because it was so muddy. But
is this what Billy is this what he's referring to? The weightless fluke? Is that what y'all call it in Arkansas?
Well, I don't know about
maybe
that.
Our hashtag for tonight, right there, Jeff.
Ryan, we already know that Billy makes up things that we say in Arkansas that we never say. So there's no.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
That's a
new name for the weightless fluke.
Yeah. But as soon as I get to the bank, I could make a few casts and I would get a bite. So that's what I focused on both days of the tournament, is just piling through that brush and getting plumb behind it. And,
Do you think some people just weren't doing that? I mean, did you talk to anybody after the event where they just settling for fishing in the midst of all that and not getting to the original bank?
I just spoke with a few guys in the house and stuff, and their practice, that's what they were doing. They were just fishing the outside section of that flooded, that debris mat.
So I've seen several comments here. The water was up pretty high, I'm assuming.
Yeah, 12 feet, I think is what they said.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like
Kyle mentioned
rising. The debris.
Yeah. Was it 12 feet and rising?
Yeah, it was coming up. It came up about a foot between day 1 and day 2, I'm guessing, by looking at where I launched. So it was definitely on the way up.
Yeah, that's wild, man. So you basically were following them up the bank. They say they want to get up on the bank when they're rising, but it can be tough if there's all that junk in the water. You put in the work.
Trees and bushes and logs. I mean, it was pretty rough where I was at, but I guess a lot of people had to open clean bank, but the fish wasn't bedding in them areas, I guess. I'm not sure what happened. But
so we talked about day 1, man. You're sitting solid, top 10. You're probably feeling good about your position for the team. They're like, I'm going to cash a check in this deal. I'm looking good.
Yeah, everything's going good.
At what point obviously we all think we have a chance to win if we're within shouting distance, but 9 inches out going into day 2, at what point during day 2 did you think, holy crap, I've made a move here. I might have a chance to win this thing?
Well, the first bite of the morning was that 20-incher.
Early momentum.
Yeah. And I was thinking, well, maybe the big girls are moving in, so I fished around a little more and didn't get a bite. So I went to another little cut where I caught a bunch of little males, the day before. I thought, well, I'm going to find out right here if that's true or not. And about my second cast, I caught a little 15-incher, I think it was. I think it was actually the one that was still on my 5 fish limit. And then I caught another one, 14 and something. So I'm like, well, the fish are here. At least I'll be able to get a limit. And I went around this little corner, and there's a little pocket, and everything's set up just right. I had a big old open space behind the brush where the timber and debris didn't make it. I cast in there and catch a 19-incher. And, luck was definitely on my side. You know how they say whenever it's your time, it's your time? Well, I'm a firm believer now. They no joke, because I had that 19-incher in the brush, and I was using 15-pound mono, and I drug her out of the brush, pulled her out. She went under the boat. I mean, it was a circus show for about 5 minutes. And I got the net, and I felt her coming up. When I went to dip her up, she jumps right beside the kayak. She spits the hook. I catch her in the net. And I swear, I wished I had a camera going just for that one fish, because it's hard to believe, but she literally jumped right beside the boat, and I catch her in the net. And that was my 19-incher.
Well, I don't think it matters. You won by 14 inches.
Well, it mattered to me at the time. I was sweating bullets.
I'm just kidding. No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Were you watching the leaderboard while you're doing all these shenanigans?
Well, no, I try to, like halfway through the day, I'll check it, So at 11 o'clock, I think it was, I still hadn't had a fifth fish. I had them 2 little ones and then 2 good ones. And I fished that pocket all the way around. I thought, I'm going to make one more trip through that pocket just to make sure. And I went through and hit a couple more spots. And on down from where I caught that 19, I got another bite, 19 3/4. And then I went around the pocket again, caught another 19 3/4. And I'm thinking at this point, I'm like, holy shit, I might actually win this thing. I was like, oh man, I had a bunch of crappie fishermen around me. There's like 5 boats and they were all in one great big convoy and they were all hooping and hollering and all that stuff. And I was like, that fish might be worth $10,000, But it was quite the deal.
Yeah, man. And yeah, for those that aren't familiar with the All American, this championship they have, I mean, it's got huge payouts, huge prize giveaways. I mean, they do it right up there. Up there.
Everything's bigger at the All American. Trophies, payouts.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you. Billy Bowden said you better get that bush light out and represent Arkansas. You got a bush light on deck, man?
Don't have any bush light on deck, no. Sorry, Billy.
All right. What about is Tammy Haeberle? Is that Miss Haeberle there in the comments?
Yeah.
Was she up there with you, or was she?
No, she was back
following this. She was following this from afar. Did she know you were about to win, or did she have to watch it on the video?
Well, I sent her a message, said I might. There's a whole story behind that.
Yeah. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer of the thing or nothing, but she lost her mother just 2 days before.
Oh man, yeah.
I was scheduled to go up there and do that, so I sat her down and I talked to her about even going. And we had a good talk about it, and she pretty much said there ain't nothing that I can do, So she allowed me to go fish it. If it wasn't for her giving me permission to go up there and fish it, I wouldn't even been there. So it's all.
Well, it paid off. You made it count, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, she told me, I had to place at least, so I did the best I could.
Well, shout out to Miss Haeberle, and
she was
so
screaming
sorry
in
for
the
loss. Yeah.
She was watching it all live. She was hooping in the.
You go buy her a new pocketbook or some hair rollers and whatever she wants out of that deal.
Yeah, I think she's getting a new car out of the deal.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, that's
I'm gonna do my part.
Who was it that won one of the big championships one year, Ryan? Was it dadgummit, old boy out of Louisiana or East Texas there? And we asked him what he was doing, and he said he was remodeling the bathroom. So the wife always gets around.
Is
it Taft?
Dwayne Taft. Yeah, it was Taft. Yeah. He won the national championship. Wasn't that the year it was like $100,000 or something?
Yeah,
I'm remodeling the bathroom. I was like, all right.
Always got to take care. You get the trophy. You take care of your lady at home with whatever.
Yeah, we all know this is mine, or that there's mine. The rest of it.
That's right. That's cool, man. That's an amazing story, and so sorry for her family's loss, man. And that's cool. You got to go in her honor, win that thing.
Yeah.
Win that thing. Any more questions for James? Throw them in the comments. I want to ask you about the event itself, because for those unfamiliar, I'll share my screen here in just a second, but talk about the event they put on, the whole spectacle from check-in to the weigh-in, and they do something that you don't see much anymore. And we've talked a bunch about it, which is, I'll throw it on the screen right here. This is the actual weigh-in. A room full of people came to the awards and hung out, had dinner, and the whole deal. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you can see it from the other day. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the event, what you thought about what they pulled off up there.
Oh man, it was just a great experience. I mean, overall, they take care of you. That's just all I can say. Everything was set up perfect. We come in, they had barbecue sandwiches and stuff. So what more could you ask for, right? So it was really good. I mean, they've done a really good job.
Yeah. Amazing stuff, man. The club championship, I know last year you guys pulled it off. We're going to have the club championship winners from Moyak on here in a minute. But what do you think about that aspect? Being able to have that team club aspect as part of it.
That's why I enjoy fishing it so much. That team aspect of it is the only reason I actually decided to go and fish it. So, I mean, that part was more important than winning it to me. I know that sounds kind of weird, but that's why I like doing it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound
That's how
weird.
we do our state championship too. Each club in Tennessee, you have I think 6 or 8 guys on a team, and you go fish for your club, and that's that's the main thing. You want the bragging rights out of the deal more than anything else. If you happen to mess around and win the tournament, that's fantastic too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we compete against each other all year. It's that's the one time a year we can actually go up there and compete with each other.
Yep.
And here's a little sneak peek of their payout. I mean, look at that. Huge payouts as well. Hourly big bass, daily big bass, $500. So even team champs pull $5K. So pretty awesome payouts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like that $1,000 overall big bass. I like seeing that big bass pot go up.
Yeah, man. I see you got a couple questions started up there, Ryan.
I'm trying, Jeff. I'm trying to help out.
Yeah, you're doing it. I'm sitting here sharing pics. Well, look at this teamwork. J-Mac on Outdoors on YouTube. What's your local club? Right there.
National State Kayak.
Hey, there you go.
Amen. Everybody loves that NSKA, man. And then Matt Collins on YouTube. Did the bites slow in the afternoon for you? A lot of our guys had the bites stop afternoon each day.
Well, it did slow down where the sun was shining. But on day 2, it was mostly cloudy. And we got a little bit of rain and stuff. But when the sun did pop out, I just hunted shade. And they still bit in the shade good. I mean, there's plenty of it all along the bank and stuff with the trees and bushes and stuff. I just focused on the shade after the sun come out.
Okay. Nate Higgins on Facebook says, yeah, James also cooked great food for the house.
Yeah.
Any special dish that you want to share with the group here?
Oh, well, I got it. I can post it up on the page or whatever. It's a pretty good recipe. I just marinate you just cut some thin steak. Deer meat is the best. You just cut the back strap up in about 2 inch and then butterfly it open and marinate it and a few different things and put cream cheese and jalapenos and wrap it up and bake it, throw it on the grill, and it is good.
There you go. There you go.
But we also had all kinds of food. Fanny, he cooked crappie. So we had crappie and the steak bombs that one night. And then we had enough left over. All the rest of the guys were supposed to come over and eat, and they stood us up. So there was 5 guys trying to eat 10 pounds of them, So we had them for leftovers a couple of nights. But Tyler Zinkerly, he made a whole bunch of pulled pork and brought it. So we ate good for sure. I think I gained about 10 pounds this weekend.
That's all right. Elvis Lee's wanting a little juice. What brand fluke were you throwing? Was it weightless?
It's just the old original Zoom Super Fluke.
Weightless?
Nothing special. You can get it at Walmart.
I like that, man. We've had dudes on here lately just winning tournaments with weightless flukes, Senkos, going old school on this whole deal.
Yeah, I didn't even take my live scope with me. I turned my electronics off when I realized they were up that shallow. So
Kyle said they had plenty of food at their place. They didn't stand you up. They were full. TJ, I do want to get down for the Lone Star Throwdown. It's another event similar to this, where it's kind of wide open. I think you just have to fish one event in Texas throughout the year to be able to fish the Lone Star Throwdown. But from what I hear, it's a pretty good party. There's a lot of, hanging out, Western Sun, a lot that goes on at that event. So I would like to attend it for at least the socializing, if not the fishing.
Fishing would be good too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go.
As long
Dwayne
as
Beatty's
right, Patman, I'll go.
Yeah. Like I said, we're going to have the winners of that event on here because I'll be honest, I live in Arkansas, which is just, Wright Patman's in Texas, was just across the border there. And until that was scheduled, I didn't even heard of that lake. So we're going to have the winners on here and actually find out a little more about that here in the next week or two. But yeah, that's interesting.
Kayvon's in the comments. He's seen a lot of fluke talk lately. Which hook do you use? I know some people will nose hook the fluke to get a lot of action out of them, and then I just use like a worm hook and hook it kind of weedless, especially if I'm throwing around a lot of junk.
That's exactly how it went. 5/0 Yamagata. I
Right.
run a little heavy. I use a little heavier hook just to give it a little bit more weight. Heavy gauge wire, but just a 5/0 offset shank straight worm hook.
There we go, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you found the fish. That's the key to all this. You can have every fancy bait in the world, but if you don't find the fish, it don't really matter.
That's right. I was fortunate
how many
enough to
times
have
do we interview people where it's a fluke or a Cinco or, just something. So it doesn't have to be live scoping with a rig and 90 feet of water off the, third branch on the tree or whatever. It's still fishing.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science, especially this time of year.
Yeah, I have live scope, but I've decided not to even use it this year. I'm fishing every tournament without it because I just got to get back to the way I was raised fishing,
Amen. I'm a huge James Haeberle fan right here, Ryan. I mean, I am now.
Yep.
Yeah.
TDs, listen up, ban live scope.
I'll
Fish
still
boat
fish.
docks
If you
and
do,
ban
that's
live
all I'm
scope.
saying. Yeah,
Use it to catch crappie.
that's exactly what I'm going to do. Fill the freezer with crappie and go bass fishing like normal.
Yeah, man.
Like
Well,
a
James,
real
man, we can't be happier that you won this thing. We're so pumped that you won. We appreciate you taking the time on here. We're going to bring the team guys in here next for the second half of the show. But man, what a story. And we're so glad that you pulled this off and won and took a little time to visit with us, man.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Take care of that big trophy. Make sure and see if you can take the lid off and drink out of it. I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm going to see. I'm going to have to make a whole new wall for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to rearrange your house for this deal.
Do you like Kyle Long? Just carry him around with you everywhere you go.
Yeah, just keep it in the truck.
Yeah.
Call
All right,
Todd
man.
Patrick if you need somebody to carry your trophy.
Yeah. All right, James. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Take
Yeah,
it easy,
man.
man.
James Haeberle, man. That's awesome. Great guy.
That's a good
Great
story,
guy.
too, man. That's a
Great win.
really
Yeah.
good story.
All right, next up, we were just talking. Whoa.
Hello.
Somebody's on.
We got
a little
Who's
feedback.
that?
We got a little
on
feedback.
one of the channels.
I'm going to mute one of them and see who it was. It sounds like it was Micah. I muted Micah and it was fine. Sorry, Micah.
We still like you. Don't worry.
Still like
What's
you.
up,
You're
guys?
What's up, Chad?
Oh,
What's up, Chad?
We're working on Micah's.
Yeah, Mike.
We're working on Micah's echo over there.
We'll mute you again one more time.
We'll meet you again one more time, Micah.
If you can hear me, see if you can turn off the actual speaker, and or if you have any earbuds, it should fix
You
it.
should fix it.
hey, what about now?
I hear you
I
great,
hear you great,
Okay.
but we still hear.
but we still
got my
got
echo.
it. My echo.
Don't have any earbuds. Can we drop out and come back in?
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
All right,
All right.
Chad.
Arkansas tournament only means technical difficulties.
This was in Missouri. Thank you very much. This was in Missouri. Chad, in between the two giant trophies, my friend, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I got the biggest second and third place trophies there are in kayak fishing right here.
Amen, you do. Look at those things.
Congratulations on winning those.
Yep, I'll take them anytime.
Yeah, man. We got Micah back. Let's see how this is going. That seems better.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
We're in there.
We did it.
All right,
We
Micah.
did it.
Thanks, man. We always have. Usually it's us with the difficulty, so don't worry about it at all.
Good to go.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
all right. So
Yeah,
you guys
so-
won the team. Yeah, back on it now. You guys won the team event. Chad, clearly you also got a second place out of the deal too. How
Actually
did the
third,
tournament
but-
shake out for you guys? Were you more focused on kind of the team win, or Chad? Obviously, you were chasing down first place there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it didn't really feel like that. I was just trying to catch 5 fish each day. The bite was so tough. Like literally, I didn't catch my limit fish till 2 o'clock each day, and you never knew how it was going to go. Even after I would think I was sitting in 7th after the first day. I had no confidence I could even go out the second day and catch a fish because the conditions were rapidly changing. The watercolor was changing like hourly almost. They were drawing a bunch of water through the dam, and it was pulling all the dirty water down the lake. So the areas I was fishing in practice, day 1 of the tournament, they got a lot dirtier. Day 2, they were blown out. So I was scrambling, just looking for some fishable water each day. And, it was just kind of trying to adjust on the fly and just hoping you could get 5.
Yeah, and Micah,
How did it shake out for you? Did you see, kind of the same issues in your area? How did you adjust to that?
My area had a little bit more clarity both days. If anything, it got clearer the second day. probably like 2 or 3 foot of visibility. I didn't really have a whole lot of problem with catching fish. I just had 2 issues with that. One was finding the right size, and one was keeping them on the hook.
That one has plagued me myself this year.
Yeah, I lost 10 fish in this tournament that just threw the bait. Just, I don't know.
What? You don't have to be too specific, but was it a treble hook bait, a single hook bait? What were they shaking off that way?
A weightless Cinco, wacky.
What? Were you throwing circle hooks?
Yeah.
Because I've had that happen before. Pro tip: don't use circle hooks.
It's like a, what's it called? I'm going blank right now. It's a wacky made hook. Forget the brand.
Was it
Jungle
a
Wacky is the name of it.
Yeah,
sounds like you need to forget that brand. Sounds like. But yeah, man, that's wild.
I used it all last year. Didn't have any problems, but yeah.
Is it the one that has the weed guard on it?
It does, and I did snip the weed guard off halfway through the first day, but still lost fish. So, I mean, all last year, I don't know if I lost a single fish on it all last year, and then just, when it rains, it pours. So I might, my confidence is kind of down on that bait at the moment. And the second day, my first 2 fish I had on with it came off, and then I just put it in timeout the rest of the tournament. And caught all my fish on something else. So
I got
you.
Chad,
talking to James.
What was your approach?
Oh, sorry, Ryan. I was gonna say, talking to James and then looking at y'all's both days, looked like consistency was key. If you could just get a limit both days, you were in good position. So, like Ryan said, Chad, what was your approach going into that?
Well, I didn't have a lot of practice. I mean, I had about 6 hours the day before, and I fished Truman my whole life, but the conditions were changing so much, I didn't feel like practice was going to help a lot. But I just went out there. Honestly, I threw a glide bait quite a bit in practice. There was a little bit better water clarity, and I was just kind of looking for fish, and it worked out pretty good because I found some areas where fish weren't eating it, but they were showing themselves. And so I kind of had some confidence. There were some fish and how they were kind of positioning, and I kind of found them more towards the backs of the pockets, like the back third. And so that's where I focused on during the tournament. And the morning of day 1, I started off throwing a chatterbait because it was kind of cloudy and a little bit of wind, and I caught one right away on the chatterbait. Went to another pocket and was throwing the glide bait, and actually caught one of the hourly big bass. It was 19.5 on the glide bait, and then I probably spent like 3 hours throwing the glide bait on day 1, and that was the only fish I caught on it. But then I found an area that I talked to one of my buddies. I passed him, and he said he had just lost an 18. And then I saw another guy catching fish over on the other side of the pocket, and so I was fishing a bank in the back of it, and I just really slowed down, and I was actually throwing a worm that I've been working on with a soft plastic company. It's a new design we've been working on, and throwing it on a Texas rig, pitching around bushes and just kind of swimming it. It's just it's like a little, we call it the zip worm, but it swims and just kind of flutters down real slow, and it's pretty weedless, so it comes through the bushes good. And I was just fishing slow, swimming it around, and I caught my other 3 on that. So day 2, I started off trying to fish the pockets where I started off on day 1, and they were totally blown out. So I went to the area where I caught my last 3 fish on day 1, and luckily the water clarity there was still fishable. And I started throwing that worm again, caught a couple, but then the wind changed, and literally I was watching the water like dirty up while I was fishing, and like the trash and stuff started to move in. My bike shut down. I didn't catch anything for like 3 hours. And then I just really, I pulled out a weightless General and started flipping it around. And actually on the first cast with that, I caught a keeper. And so I just really hunkered down in that area because I didn't have anything else. Everything else was blown out. So I just had to stay in that area, and I just kept throwing that General, and finally filled out my limit. But it was just kind of desperation because I didn't have anything else.
Micah, we had talked to James, and he talked about kind of pushing through the debris, getting to the bank. Did you do anything like that, or what was the depth that you were catching all those fish?
Where I was, I was thinking through that. I was listening to him talking about that, and there weren't many areas where there's that much debris in the backs of pockets and stuff. There are a few pockets that had maybe 10 foot of it in the very back, but I didn't even mess with it. Part of it is because I only throw spinning gear, and Chad gives me a hard time for that all the time. But
all the time.
Oh yeah, all the time. But with that being said, you have to know your strengths, and spinning gear strength is not fishing in that stuff. So I didn't even try it. But I was catching them in less than 5 foot of water, primarily there's a certain kind of grass, or maybe a dead weed or something. I'm not really sure. I just remember what it looks like.
It looks like weed or something.
Yeah,
weed?
like a tumbleweed kind
kinda
of, but
wheat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, weeds. Yeah, well,
Not
there's that
weed,
too.
Yeah. That's a different.
Yeah.
Missouri is a
Missouri's wild, boy.
Hey, it's a recreational state, Ryan. Recreational state.
They grow it in the water out there. Woo, that's at hydro, I think.
Yeah. But for some reason, they seem to be relating to those edges more than the bushes where I was. And so I was fishing the edges of the submerged grass rather than flipping in the bushes, which is kind of weird because it's not even that thick. But
Mike Marvel said it was fescue because you were in somebody's backyard with the water that flooded. That's fair.
Almost.
Chris Robb called it Missouri ditchweed.
Yeah, Missouri. That's a candidate for hashtag of the night as well.
Yeah, ditchweed. Mike also had a question for y'all. Any chance that dead cow floated down to you guys? Either of you see the dead cow?
No dead cows for me.
This sounds like a hell of a tournament. Just from the comments, we've got refrigerators, dead cows, and weeds so far. Was there any other anomalies that that came down the path on the lake?
Yeah, Mike said he was half a mile on land according to the map. So, yeah, the time I went up there, Chad, that place was super low. So I can't imagine how it fished 12 feet high. That's bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, literally the week of the tournament, it came up 12 feet. The weekend before, some of the guys that pre-fished were catching 20-pound stringers. The fishing was just on fire, and I think a lot of those guys kind of struggled in the tournament because they were still reliving the previous weekend. But it came up drastically. The watercolor changed. They were pulling a lot of current through the lake. So all those just had things changing constantly, and it actually, the lake is huge, but I feel like it fished really small because so much of the lake was blown out that it seemed like guys were kind of concentrated in certain areas a lot, looking for cleaner water and stuff. But
yep,
found it, Ryan.
You found it. I knew you would. I knew as soon as they posted that. Oh, wow.
Dead cow. Is that guy fishing the cow as structured?
I think he is.
Flipping cows?
Is. Little Angus shade
must
pocket.
be super bloated.
That's
a buffalo. It's no cow. It's a bison.
We need DNR to identify that, please.
Truman, like Truman. Some stuff up there.
Wow.
Yeah. So you both did really well in the tournament, obviously, and what that led to was the team victory. And we wanted y'all to talk about what it means to pull that off. I mean, I know there's some good trash talk that goes back and forth. Kyle Long lets y'all know every chance he gets on different posts that Arkansas won last year. So what's it mean for Moyak to pull that off this year? The second time Moyak's won it.
Yeah, I was lucky to be part of the team that won it in 21, and I feel like we were pretty gracious in our victory. And then last year Arkansas won, and they just been beating us down all year long with it. So I mean, I pretty much feel at this point now we're a 2-time winner. you know, if they want to be the best, they're going to have to come back and beat the best because, you know, Moyak is where it's at. And feel like we're about the best that there is out there. So.
Damn.
Oh,
okay, Ric Flair.
my.
Chad just
All
put on that
right,
Ric
so
Flair robe.
I think he's throwing that out there to some other clubs across the country. If you want to jump in and give them a run for the money, that sounds like a challenge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
James is still in the lobby.
Them Arkansas boys don't have them. They don't have a lot to be proud of winning. So I think Arkansas hanging their hat on that trophy is probably about all they've got going. I know Jeff's trying to recruit a basketball team right now. But
Kyle's a Oklahoma Sooners fan, so that's the reason. That's the reason he's channeling his lack of winning to that and women's softball. That's all he's got.
Moyak versus Queen City. Okay, get the North Carolina, South Carolina boys out there. They'll be wearing their turquoise and purple leggings, so y'all get ready.
And you know what though, Moyak is about the closest thing I've seen to a regional club. Like it doesn't get the same talk that Queen City gets because Queen City seems to partner with a lot of national events that go to Hartwell and Murray and all that stuff. But Moyak pulls the same kind of numbers on the regular. Isn't that right, Chad?
Yeah, I mean, we had a club event in conjunction with this one on Saturday, and we had 86, and that's pretty typical. We've been over 100, but I feel like, you know, around 80 is not unusual at all. And
that's awesome.
You know, we got some of our members that fish the national events. Lance Burris, obviously. I mean, they, you know, we have guys that compete, and you know, it'd be nice to get some of the national events here. I know that, you know, they're trying, and there's some obstacles, I guess, but you know, we got some great lakes in Missouri. We got, you know, Lake of the Ozarks, Table Rock, Bull Shoals. You know, there's some big lakes that have a lot of fish. So if they can figure out how to make it work, I think they would probably draw a lot of people from around here. The All Americans, just an example of what kind of numbers there are. So
Ryan said he's making the trek this fall for the Big Bass 250, right, Ryan?
Yep, we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it.
We have committed.
Micah, what about you, man? What did it mean to pull off that team victory and be part of that?
I mean, it felt good. I mean, going into day 2, I was, I think, in like 30th place or something in All American, and I was pretty frustrated with the day before, just with all the fish getting off and stuff. But I started off with 19 3/4 inch bass right off the get go, and felt good about it. Got some momentum going, and then that was one of the thoughts that I did have, was like not only getting a check, but also like the team aspect. Because if I remember right, last year I think I was the 6th man for Moyak, so I didn't make the top 5. And so, you know, kind of had that left out feeling. But
so for those that don't know, is that the format of this team series? Is the top 5 from each club that gets to fish against each other?
I think they take the top 10, but you can send your top 10 to the tournament.
Yeah.
Actually,
the top 5 scores count, or
they've increased it to the top 15 from each club. And if a club runs multiple series, like if they've got a river series and then a regular trail series, they can send 15 from each series as long as they've got the minimum number for that series. So I know Colorado sent dozens of people this year, which was amazing. But yeah, top 15 from each club, and then the top 5 scores from that club will make up basically your team score for your club, and then whoever has the highest wins. And we really thought Arkansas, we were sweating it because obviously James had like a 14-inch lead on everybody, so that was a big number of points to spot. And so Tyler was really dragging it out on the awards, trying to make it sound like that 14 points was going to be hard to make up, which I don't know. It was close, so we were fortunate. But
did it happen to end up being?
Does it go by places or overall inches? Yeah, overall inches. I'm assuming by that statement. Okay.
Yeah, had everybody's inches together.
I didn't do the math, but did it end up being Kyle Long's fault in any way? Like he didn't catch one or anything?
Kyle was way.
I think it was no matter what. It was Kyle Long's fault.
No, I've been there before. It's tough. Mike had a great question, man. Because the team wins, it's 5K, right? Split between 5 of you.
Well, that was based on 225, and since
Okay.
we were at 189, it was adjusted a little bit. But we got $3,000 split between 5 people, so $600 a piece. So it was pretty good.
Did you do this though? Mike asked, did you prorate the winnings based on inches contributed?
I'm down.
Thankfully,
for
that. No. I was bringing up the rear with the 5th position. So I'm all right with the even.
I want to give a shout out to Steve-O running bass. He's in the comments. He's watching the show. He's listening to everything. So all the feedback, all the suggestions. You guys want a tournament out there? This is the guy to bring one. This is why Bass is doing so well, because of this right here, because he's listening. He sees the hype. He sees the participation in this event and how – many anglers from the area want to participate in a national event, close to home there.
Appreciate Steve-O.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
He says he gets so excited when he gets DMs. I'm humble, but I'm pretty. Come on, man.
He's wild. He's wild, but he'll put a tournament in your backyard. So
I'm telling you, man. Steve-O and
if y'all have any karaoke out there, if there's a good karaoke bar near a lake that could host a tournament, that could sway the vote. So keep that in mind.
He needs to come to the 250 with you, bub. He needs to come to the 250 with you.
I mean, I got 4 extra seats in my truck. He's been shotgun rider more than one trip out there, so he's more than welcome to come with me.
Yeah, he needs to roll up here, man. That'd be good. Any more questions for these? Let's see. We got a couple starred. No, I already did this one.
What's
that about? Can we go fishing one day?
I think this is one of Kenzo's friends. They're wanting to take a fishing trip out with me. So, I do charitable donations every year. So I may take a youth fishing, but you can only talk for like 5 minutes, and then I'm out.
You gotta leave your phone in the truck.
Leave your phone in the truck. Don't be dropping pins. You got to sign an NDA or have your legal adult guardian sign an NDA, however that works.
Jared, bring Bass to Truman. Let's say this. Okay, we've heard about Truman. Obviously, All Americans there every year. Lake of the Ozarks, well known. What are the lakes up there, fellas? What other lake? I know there's a lot of other good lakes in Missouri that they could bring an event like that to.
Haeberle.
Yeah, Haeberle. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's some other good lakes, but they're not. I don't know if they're big enough for a Bassmaster event, but definitely Lake of the Ozarks, Table Rock, Bull Shoals. Those are Truman would be the ones that I would think would be big enough.
There you go. That's 4 good ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been begging for Bull Shoals for like 5 years. You got to think of the size
of the lake, and then you have to think of a host city as well. So there's multiple layers to having a big event, but you got to have the lodging and community support for them as well.
The city of Clinton tourism went all out on this tournament, and they were really excited to get this, have this tournament in their town. I definitely think that might be somebody to reach out to. I mean, I know Table Rock's a hard sell because like Branson is like not worried about trying to bring more people into Branson.
Yeah.
But so I think maybe that hurts Table Rock a little bit because they're not willing to really pay or anything like that. But I don't know. You might talk to Clinton because I feel like, they're motivated. So
is it still like I came to the very first All American that was there, and that I think the mayor came out. They had a couple local radio hosts out there. I mean, they rolled out the red carpet, literally. Still the same way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they did this in conjunction with the Romans Warrior Foundation this year. Gene Campbell set that up, and they brought in this traveling wall that's a dedication to the War on Terror. And they had this huge wall set up in the parking lot, and it was just kind of an additional attraction for people to come, not only see the wall, but then maybe stay for the awards and see what the event was all about and just draw attention. And it was just kind of a partnership that they did. A lot of things like that, they're trying to do to bring attention to it.
Yeah, and I remember, Josh could correct me if I'm wrong, but the first one was in the midst of COVID, and they were like, "COVID be damned, we're blowing this thing out," and had that place packed out. I mean, they were rolling anyway, so I appreciated them for that as well.
I think what you're talking about bringing the community itself into these tournaments is huge. Like Possum Kingdom, obviously we jumped in the cornhole stuff and got to meet some locals and hang out and kind of, we had restaurant owners and stuff coming up to us talking about, we're going to do something special for y'all at our restaurant next year when you come back, that kind of thing. I think we have to figure out, and Hobie Worlds, like take a kid fishing. That was part of Hobie Worlds that we did in Sweden, where you partner up with a child and literally take them out and put the rod together and teach them how to fish, like that kind of stuff. I think that is kind of the next additive to this. Like, how do you not only bring a fishing tournament to a community, but you're also like giving back something to the community while you're there? I think that's the next move.
Kyle Long said Rogers, Arkansas, Beaver Lake. Beaver Lake's big enough. Rogers, Arkansas is definitely A+ city to host an event like this, but the fishing is not optimal on Beaver Lake. But I'd love to have it for personal, selfish reasons. Bring it to Beaver Lake. They'd probably pay to bring it. So come on, let's all have a 12-inch spot competition.
Yeah, if you like spotted bass, it's all good.
Micah will be in heaven with his spinny rod.
Yeah, man. It's actually been a little bit of a comeback the last few years, but no, I don't want to catch the hell for bringing that here and everybody driving to Beaver Lake to catch 75 inches. We don't want that. Paul
mentioned more national tournaments in Oklahoma. Honestly, Broken Bow was one of the most fun tournaments that I've ever fished. Like, it was, the lake was great. There was a lot of fish. Micah, you'd be very at home. I think I caught nearly all my fish on a spinning rod out there. Ewing won it on a drop shot, whatever he was doing, slingshot and a drop shot on live scope for smallmouth or whatever. But there, there's a good population of largemouth and smallmouth there to choose from. But I think Oklahoma is a great spot for another national tournament.
I 10 kilo there, Eufaula.
Yeah, plenty of good. This region's got plenty of good lakes. I mean, Texas is its own country when it comes to bass fishing, basically, but there's still plenty of good lakes around here with Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri. Got some good choices. Got some more comments coming in there. Yeah. What do y'all think about the event? I don't think there's a cap on it, and I know that there's a lot more clubs that could partner with it. How many do you think Truman could hold? Let's say this show spreads the word, and next year you got 20 more clubs sending 15 more people. Could that lake hold 300 people and still fish okay?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they have some large bass boat tournaments that pull 300 and 400 boats, and I mean, this event was an anomaly because it was, it fished high, it was high and it fished small, but under normal conditions, it's a huge lake. There's 4 major river arms that are all huge, and people can really spread out. There's tons of access because there's dead-end roads that just lead into the lake. You can pretty much put in just about anywhere on the lake because it's, it's not a lot of private ground around it. So, I mean, finding different launching locations is not a problem. So definitely it would be probably about as good a lake as you could get for having a huge kayak tournament.
Is that accurate? 55,000 acres? I didn't know it was that big. Holy smokes.
Jared's the man. He lives there. And he also got second in this event. But
yeah, he did. My bad, Jared. I should have invited you too. Is he Moyak? Sorry, was he on your team?
No, so actually we kind of spotted Jared because Jared, there was actually 3 Missouri clubs represented at this event. So Jared fished in one of the other clubs, but he could have fished the Moyak event. He would have qualified. So I mean, that was just somebody else we could have added, but we didn't want to make it too easy. So
he said it was 70,000 acres this week.
I like the new non-humble Chad, just throwing the smoke. Don't want to make it too easy. Yeah, that's awesome. I see Lance in the comments. He was part of that squad too. So yeah, I think that aspect is cool. We've seen different iterations of team fishing, and I think there's still one that's going to kick off this spring. But I don't think it gets any better than fishing for your club, like fishing for your home club with your buddies that you fish with all the time. I mean, that's awesome.
Yep.
Mike said he fished day 2. Yeah. I mean, I can imagine. Like I said, I've been there once. It is a very large lake. I didn't realize it was 50,000 acres. So, and with these lakes, and if I understand the rules right, fellas, there's no defined access. It's just public access, right? So you can really spread out.
Yep,
more of the
there's a
old school.
boundary, and as long as you put in within the boundary, you can go pretty much anywhere you can reach.
Okay. I like it.
I like
it. Any more questions for these fellas? I'm not seeing any more. You got any more startup, Ryan? I don't think we do.
I do not. We're clear.
We're clear. Well, guys, we won't keep you much longer. I just appreciate you taking the time and talking about the event itself. Congrats on both of your finishes. You both cashed checks, and then, of course, for the team finish.
Moyak reigns for one more year.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Y'all have a great
Thanks,
night.
guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
thank
jumping
you.
on, fellas.
There we go, Ryan. I love that event. I think it's a cool event. I think
It is.
It fills a void that is needed in the sport. So hats off to Josh and the team over there.
And you know, this thing keeps growing bigger and bigger and bigger. We talk about it all the time. I think we have to look for that stuff that is gonna kind of take it to the next level in an involvement aspect, right? Like you've got the same people that travel all over the place and fish all these tournaments. How do we pull in the stuff from the outside? That's what's going to bring in non-endemic sponsors and more media coverage. Like they were talking about radio hosts and stuff coming in, covering the tournament, you know, hyping it up. I think that's fantastic. I think, you know, helpful hint. I think that's probably the next step in the evolution here.
Yeah, man. All right, let's see. We got the giveaway to do. I pulled a comment from the chat we're going to use tonight, and it is ditchweed.
I can't wait. Ditchweed.
Hashtag ditchweed to get in on the Z-Man giveaway, y'all. So throw that in the comments, and we'll get you in there. Marty
Billy
Hughes, yeah, he
Bowden,
was there.
Marty Hughes was there. Billy
Yeah.
Bowden, Wide Dick Open. He is staying with us, Jeff, for our Gunnersville house with Abby and Dylan. How many nights are you going to put me to bed? 0. I am very well versed in not being put to bed, so we can make the tournament as miserable as you want to.
Billy. I remember I was going to say he stayed with us at Sam Rayburn, but he didn't. He just kind of squatted at our house.
He didn't. I didn't put Billy to bed. I put him in the ditch, and he didn't get out of bed till like noon the next day.
Yeah, old boy rolled out of a
do
ditch
not
and
forget,
damn near
my friend.
Yeah, had a hell of a day one, if I remember that event correctly.
He did. Once he got out there, he was rolling.
Marty, tell us in the comments what you were fishing with. Mike says he needs to confirm what he heard. Tell us, Marty, if you would.
Marty probably posted it. Marty's like, this fish 3011 here today. Caught on a white jackhammer.
Were you on the dead cow pattern, Marty, with the other fella?
Hey. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something if that was a pattern? Throwing a drop shot or something under a floating cow?
There you have it. Nico. Was it on 2-pound test? That can't be true, Marty.
Who makes 2-pound tests? Is that a line? Do they sell that to bass fishermen?
I think Strin makes it still.
Well, that's a brand I haven't heard or seen in a while. 16-pound Sunline. There you go. 2-pound test. Get out of here.
Somebody done lied to you, Mike.
Sorry, Mike. Look, Marty Hughes is getting more questions than any of our guests got tonight.
Sorry, guests. All right, hey, let's do this drawing. If you guys don't want to we got dang near 150 people in the live, and 1/3 of you.
When did that happen? We were rolling at like 86 all night through the guests, and then in the last 10 minutes, we've jumped to nearly 150.
We have 70 people watching us live on Twitter, Ryan.
What? On Twitter?
On X.
Shout
out to X. Even if you're a bot, shout out to you bots over on X. Appreciate you.
Retweet us, baby. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Here goes the drawing. We're here for the content. Appreciate you, Top Shelf.
We are too, buddy. We are too. That's about all we got.
John Wofford. NSKA. What? It is NSKA all night tonight.
What is this? So NSKA won the event, didn't win the team event, but they won tonight, I feel like, on the show.
They double dipped it up. There we go, John. John, former Northwest Arkansas NSKA, now in the Central group. And he just won an event, I think, over on Nimrod. So shout out to John.
He defected to Central?
He moved for a job. He works at Children's now.
J-Mac said that was a weird spin. J-Mac, who's won probably, 5 giveaways now.
Yeah.
Seems offended.
Yeah, but yeah, great show, man. That was fun. All American Kayaks Championship. Great job once again over there, boys.
Yep. Y'all take it easy, and everybody in the path of this severe weather, keep an eye out, keep your head down, and stay safe because we want you tuned in again next week, please.
Amen. Amens. See y'all.